Hello, students. Hope you have gone through the previous two chapters and the work that was assigned to you, and you have understood both the chapters well. Now, moving ahead, we have to again study something more about population, and this time we'll study about population composition. People in different countries, they vary in different ways. Now they can vary in terms of age, sex, place of residence, education, occupation, etc. So in different places, in different countries, we'll find there is a lot of variation in terms of these aspects. Now in this chapter of population composition, we'll study about all these different aspects. Now, the first topic that we have to study is regarding the sex ratio. Now, sex ratio is the ratio between number of females with number of males. Now, it is calculated in different ways in the different countries of the world. In India, we calculate number of females per thousand males, but in many other countries it is calculated as number of males per thousand females. Now, when I talk about the condition of women, we see that God has imbibed more strength biologically to women, but on realistic stature, we find that there is a lot of social disadvantages, or there are many unfavorable reasons that are there against women. So, natural advantage versus you can say the social disadvantages that are occurring in a different nations. Now, as far as world is concerned, there are 102 males for every 100 females. But if I talk about the highest, then in a country called Latvia, we have 85 males for 100 females. But on the other hand, there is another country in Qatar, which is a Gulf country. There we have 311 males per 100 females. This is such a vast difference, and this difference is basically because of the migrants which go there, and most of these migrants are males in number. So when I talk about this sex ratio, we find that many countries of the world are unfavorable in terms of females. Now, related to this, there is another topic which is there, that is relates to the age structure. Now, what you have to study in age structure, that the population of the country or the nation is divided into three age groups. Now, first age group is 0 to 15 years, which is called the youth. Then from 15 to 59, which is the working population, and above 59, which is considered as the older population. Now, this age group, it varies in the percentage of population in different age groups. It varies in different parts of the country, and accordingly we find out this is, you can say, the economic development of the country, that how much population is dependent and how much population is working. So accordingly we find the economic development of that nation. Now, how to study this? For this, we both these age sex ratio and age structure. We have the age sex pyramids. Now, here we study that within different age groups, number of males and females, and for this we make population pyramids. Now, these shape of the population pyramids, they vary according to the population. Like if I talk about, if the pyramid is in the shape of a triangle, then it refers as the country is referred as the expanding population. Expanding population means that the birth rate is also high and the death rate is also high, and hence the population is high. Generally, such the underdeveloped countries have this type of a pyramids. Then there are some countries which have a constant population. For them, the pyramid is generally in a bell-shaped pyramids where the birth rate and the death rate is more or less constant. So the population growth is not much in such countries, and uh, the developed countries generally, the developing and the developed countries come under this, like Australia. But if I talk about the third, which is the declining population, here we see a narrow base and a tapering top. It means that here the birth rate is also low and the death rate is also low. Most of the developed countries are facing this problem, and like Japan, and so here what is happening, the population growth is less. So these are the three age sex structure. Next, that topic that we have to study is the rural urban population. Now, the people who reside in rural areas and the people who reside in urban areas, the number of people they vary again. So, accordingly, we study about the rural urban population. Generally, we see that in the rural areas, more of primary activities are taking place, and in the urban areas, the non primary activities are taking place. Moving ahead, students, the next topic relates to the same is rural urban population. Now, rural urban population means how many people are residing in the rural areas and how many people are residing in the urban area. So, this differentiation is based on place of residence. Now, the proportion of people who are living in rural and urban areas also differs in different countries. And another thing that differs is how many males and how many females are living in the rural and the urban areas. If we take the first aspect, then in the rural areas, we find that most of the persons are engaged in the primary activities, whereas in urban areas, the majority of the people they are engaged in the non-primary activities. And in this, the number of males and females also vary. If I talk about the Western countries, then there we find that because in the rural areas, most of the activities that are primary activities, they are conducted on the mechanized basis. So we find that there is more of male population residing there. But in the urban areas, the females are more engaged in the non-primary activities. But it is the reverse in countries of Asia and Africa, where in the rural areas, majority of the females they are engaged in primary activities, and in urban areas, most of males are engaged. So this is what you have to study in the rural and urban composition. Now, if I talk about their rural urban composition related to it, there is the occupational structure which you have to study. Now, if I talk about the occupational structure, there are various occupations in which the people are engaged. They vary again in different countries, but we can broadly classify the occupations into categories like primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. And again, the proportion of population that are engaged in these activities decides whether the country is developed or it's undeveloped or it's in developing state. Now, if I talk about the developed countries, we see the proportion of population is more in the secondary, tertiary, and quaternary activities. And if the majority of the proportion of population is in the primary activities, they are still engaged in primary activities like agriculture, forestry, fishing, mining, then we classify these countries as undeveloped or developing countries. So, in this category, we have to study the occupational structure, and also how this occupational structure it acts as an index to the economic development of the country, how far the country has developed economically. And students, the last topic which is there in this population composition that we have to study relates to literacy. Literacy plays a very important role because it determines the quality of population that is existing. Now, definitely, literacy can be referred as a cause as a consequence for the development. Once the population is more literate, it's more qualified, definitely the quality of population is more there. So, quality of population is better in such countries. And if I talk about our own country, in our country, if a literate person, who is considered as a literate person? Any person who is 7 years of age, who can do little reading, writing, and can do arithmetic with understanding. This is what is considered as a literate person in our country. So we see that literacy plays a very important role as far as the development of the country is concerned. So students, all these things we have covered in population composition. I have jotted down all the points also, as well as the question answers which are there along with this. So I hope you will understand and do the writing part. Thank you, students.